may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our redeemer. Amen. This is a sermon about how our deepest blessings come from our deepest heartaches. Our most profound trials become the tending ground for our most profound lessons and transformations. The sermon I'm talking about isn't my sermon. It isn't the one I am delivering right now, but the first sermon that Jesus ever preached, the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes, the text from the Gospel of Matthew that Randy just read. This was Jesus' first sermon after he gathered those first disciples in the Gospel of Matthew that we heard about last week, those pairs of brothers who were fishing and mending their nets. The Jesus movement was gaining momentum, was picking up steam, and he was inviting people to follow him, and they were. He retreated up to a mountain, and people followed him up there. And these words were his first sermon. This is one of the most precious texts we have in our tradition. These series of blessings, of finding blessings in unexpected places and people. When people heard this for the first time, they didn't say, how do I get in on those blessings? How do I pray and behave in the right way so that I can be blessed by God? But instead, they received the grace of God, the blessings of God just as they were, downtrodden, regular, earthy people seeking to follow Jesus. This text deserves our scrupulous attention to detail and rigorous poring over. As I go through some alternative translations of the words of this first sermon that Jesus preached, I invite you to think about where you see these blessings in the world now. I'd like you to think about places within you that need those blessings, and places in the world, people or circumstances that you think Jesus would bless today with these words. Blessings on blessings flow out of this passage. Blessing in Greek is makarios, meaning blessed, happy, enlivened, or to be made large. Some translators believe that these blessings build on one another, that each of these stages can only lead to the next, and that this sermon offers a ladder of spiritual practice for being in the world. So let us begin. With each blessing, I will weave in explorations of the language and different translations from the Greek, and I will pause after each blessing and leave room for you to interpret and hear for yourselves. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. Then he began to speak, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, the needy, the one who sinks and crouches, the one who is thoroughly frightened and cowering. Blessed are the addicts, the one who sees violence, the refugees going through years of paperwork just to be turned around at the airport. You are blessed when you are at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and God's rule. Blessed is the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Blessed are those who grieve over a personal hope, a relationship that dies or comes to divine closure. And the Greek is specific. This blessing refers to manifest grief, lamenting, mourning that is so severe that it takes possession of a person and cannot be hidden. It is not internal grief, it is grief expressed. For they will be parakaleo, summoned, called up close and personal to God, comforted, encouraged, and consoled. Blessed are the ones who share their deep loss, so others can share God's gift of comfort and encouragement. Blessed is the one who picks up and calls her friend when she is crying. Blessed is the one who takes a risk to share his vulnerability, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek. The praus is the Greek, the mild and gentle, not the weak, but the ones acting under God's strength, not their own. Blessed are the social workers, the teachers, the mothers, the fathers, the caregivers, those just trying to do good in the world. They may not make a lot of money, but they shall inherit the earth. Their specific allotment of inheritance will be the earth, the soil, the land, the region, the country. For God makes an eternal record of everything we do on earth. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are those hungering and thirsting for righteousness. Blessed are those who aren't quenched until every person has justice. Those who agree that their own liberation is tied up in the liberation of every single other. They shall be cortazo, filled, satisfied, fattened. The one who sees others suffering and suffers along with them, they shall be satisfied. You are blessed when you work up a good appetite for God. God's food and drink of justice is the best meal you'll ever eat. Blessed are the compassionate, the merciful, the ones acting consistently with God's covenant to love one another and God. They will receive compassion from God and from others. Blessed are those who love others when the world encourages hate and distance. If one carries the inward feelings of compassion, which abide in the heart, others will look upon them with that same compassion. People will reflect the heart energy that we give out back to us. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, the clear, the clean, the ones with clarity, the genuine, the sincere, those free from corrupt desire, for they shall experience, perceive, discern the Creator of all things. Blessed are those who don't have ulterior motives, but are straightforward with their word. You are blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and your heart aligned. Then you can see God in the outside world. Blessed are the ones who bravely declare God's terms, which make someone whole. Blessed are the peacemakers, the ones who take risks for peace, For in doing so, they will be reborn. They will become adopted by, they will be children of God. You're blessed when you can show people how to cooperate instead of compete or fight. That's when you discover who you really are and your place in God's family. Blessed are the ones who have stood up for what they know to be an experience of God, even when others can't see it and put them down for it. You're blessed when your commitment to God provokes persecution. The persecution drives you even deeper into God's kingdom. From Eugene Peterson's The Message, not only that, count yourself blessed every time people put you down or throw you out or speak lies about you to discredit me. What it means is that the truth is too close for comfort and they are uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens. Give a cheer even. For though they don't like it, I do. And all heaven applauds, and know that you are in good company. My prophets and witnesses have always gotten into this kind of trouble. Jesus reinforces at every instance that our deepest blessings come from our deepest trials, our deepest pain, our deepest grief, our deepest vulnerability. Let me repeat. Jesus says that we are most blessed when we are outcast, downtrodden, and left out. Jesus says that the most blessed among us are the ones who mourn, the ones who are meek, the ones who need mercy and justice. Jesus says repeatedly, these are the blessed. Jesus proclaims with his life and ministry that abundant and eternal life always override death, and that out of the darkness of death comes new life again. So what are your deepest trials right now? Where are the places of grief and longing for justice and mercy in your life? Where are our culture's deepest trials and heartaches right now? Is it possible that we will receive a deep blessing from these places? One of our cultural challenges right now is the intense, scary, divisive political climate. Not just the things that are happening which are heart-wrenching and scary to me, but the way we react to one another within this climate. Church could become a countercultural place where we find blessing in relating to one another in ways that are not reactive, that are not consistent with hateful rhetoric that we hear. Perhaps we could become a beacon of counterculture in this local church where we choose to engage with people who are different than we are, with dignity and with respect. The world depends on us getting to know one another from across the divide. Our world depends on us staying in relationship while so much else tries to pull us away from one another. I just learned about a synagogue in New Jersey engaging in something called the Bubble Breaking Project. That idea comes from the concept that we live and remain in bubbles with people who look like us, believe like us, sound like us, and we aren't often challenged to know difference. 11 a.m. on Sunday morning is the most segregated hour, Reverend Martin Luther King once said. This synagogue in New Jersey decided that they would pair people up within the community who have differing political views. This is one of the most radical things that you can do in relationship right now. To have a conversation not seeking to change the mind of the other or to become adversarial, but simply to deepen in understanding and relationship. The synagogue is specific that it relies on the maturity and civility of its participants. Today after church, some of us get to hang out with Muslim and Christian youth as they seek to get to know each other better across differences. It is pretty amazing how relationships can transform culture. Part of our youth program today was to give an update on how much our Star of Hope fundraiser has earned, and even to raise more money for refugee resettlement efforts in Middletown. And then we learned that there has been an unjust, unbiblical, and dangerous executive order to ban refugees from entering this country. But we are going to collect money today anyway. We are going to hope and pray and advocate until we can put that money to good use. Today, after church, the youth are going to lead us in the task of deepening in relationship across difference. I think Jesus would call this blessed.